So why is it that spiritual processes, for different types of processes, we use different kind of colors? Colors have a big impact upon how you feel. In that, if you radiate love, people will see you as a loving human being. If you radiate joy, people will think, oh, he is a joyful person. Color is not what it is, color is what it gives away. Or the colors of anything around you, does it have some impact? You need to understand this. How color happens, first of all. Why seems to be white right now is because when the light falls on it, it reflects all of it, so it looks white. Why this seems to be red right now is not because it's red, it is just that it holds back all the colors and only reflects red. That's why you're seeing red. And what is red for you may not be red for some other creature. If you dress up really jazzy colors and go and stand in front of your dog, he looks at you in an uninterested way because he doesn't see any color, he sees everything black and white. Do you know this? Don't dress up for him, okay? Dog lovers, I'm saying. So color is not what it is, color is what it gives away. What you reflect will be your color, what you hold will not be your color. This is the nature of life, not just of color. This is the nature of life itself. Today, if you radiate love, people will see you as a loving human being. If you hold back all your love because you have a love bank, you're full of love but you don't radiate, people will think you're that. If you radiate joy, people will think, oh, he is a joyful person. If you are a joy bank, you held back all your joy because you want to take it to heaven, people won't experience you as a joyful human being, isn't it? What you give away is always your quality, isn't it so? So that is not just for a human being, that is the nature of the existence itself. What is thrown away is the quality of that substance. Now this reflects everything. So why is it that spiritual processes, for different types of processes, we use different kind of colors is, those who are on a path where they don't want to gather anything, they will wear white. Those who are into a different kind of sadhana, if their sadhana is mild, but they're on the spiritual path, but they're involved with various aspects of life, they don't want to gather life around them. They want to be participating in life, but they don't want to gather anything. Such people will choose to wear white. People who are on a more intense sadhana, which is oriented towards a particular chakra in the body, which is known as Agna, between the eyebrows, they will wear orange because the color of the chakra is orange. They want to radiate that color because the whole process is about enlightenment and reaching to that state of knowing, opening up that dimension of perception which is referred to as the third eye. So they will seek always ochre or orange color because that is the color of the Agna. Devi's color is red because she gives away red. Red means, if you're walking in the forest, it's all green, but there'll be one spot of red somewhere, one red flower blossoming. That draws your attention because in your perception, red is the most vibrant of all the colors. All other colors may be pretty, good, nice, but red is vibrant. And many things which are significant to you are red. Your blood is red. Red is the color of the blood, red is the color of the rising sun. Red always symbolizes, in human consciousness, colors have a big impact upon how you feel. In that, red creates maximum vibrance. Devi signifies that vibrance, her energy is vibrance, absolute vibrance and exuberance. Exuberance means red. Anything exuberant means red. So Devi is the most exuberant form among the deities that you create. The feminine forms are the most exuberant. Because of that, she's red. Not because she's red, because she's not red.
Making offerings to Linga Bhairavi is an opportunity for joyous surrender. Devotional offering of oneself opens up the possibility to benefit from Devi's abundant grace and compassion. So, there are certain substances which gather much more energy than others. Let's take one example. Suppose you are sitting beside Devi, and next to you is your friend sitting beside Devi. Who do you think is imbibing more energy? Or say, what do you think? Both of you are imbibing the same kind of energy? No. Because whether it is living or non-living, whatever sort of material it is, or whatever sort of human being they are, everybody are having the same opportunity, but all of them do not absorb and retain the energy to the same extent. Same energy is available to both of you, but both of you are imbibing it at different extent. The same thing also applies here. Certain substances have been identified as substances that can easily gather and retain energy. And in that, kumkum, which is one, is highly sensitive. You can easily energize it and give it to someone. In the top lies vibhuti, but kumkum is equally effective. And that is why to Devi we offer kumkum, red kumkum. You have already heard about the significance of red from Sadhguru. Now, the first thing that we offer to Devi is red kumkum. In many temples, very powerful pranic vibrations are still there. So this substance is kept there for a while. So it gathers a certain amount of energy in it. The idea is to share it, so it is given to people who come there. So if you are sensitive, then just by being there, you gather this energy into yourself. If you are not so sensitive, something must be given to you. And that is why after offering Devi Kumkum, we apply Kumkum at our forehead. Now the second most important and very loving thing that we offer to Devi are red flowers. So what do you think? Why are flowers usually used for worshipping? Why not stones, pebbles or something else? Because flowers is the most fragile aspect of life, most momentary. In morning you see flowers are something else, and in evening it is not the same. It is so fragile. So why everybody is so much interested in flower? Always spiritual process is referring to as flowering. We don't say fruiting of consciousness, right? We say flowering of consciousness. Because fruit is always intending in terms of something must happen. You must get something out of it. That aspect is very dominant in a fruit. There is a deep pleasure seeking in the fruit. But a flower, it is just a simple expression of life, a glorious expression of life. No real purpose, no usefulness, but it is the most beautiful dimension of life process of a plant. It's the peak of its life. So when you offer something to someone, to that which you consider as divine, you want to offer that thing which is the peak. Don't you feel like to pull out your heart and offer it to Devi when you are in full of devotion? I definitely have felt it. I don't know about you, but I definitely have felt this. So whatever is peak in us, whatever is the highest dimension in us, we want to give. So in a plant, the highest dimension of its life is flowers. So what you offer, not the root, not the stem, not the branch, but the flower, as the flower could be also seen as the height of expression. For some people, a flower may be God's own face. The whole effort of any spiritual purpose, any religion or any religious purpose is to become like a flower. So flower has become synonymous with offering. With this, the third most important offering we do is offering ghee deep or offering ghee lamp. This is because fire is a powerful way to connect with Devi or any other divine and imbibe their grace. Across cultures, fire has been seen as an integral part of rituals and festivities. In the yogic culture, in the Panchabhutas, fire is an element through which a connection can be built between two energies. Therefore, offering ghee deepam to Devi in any form can be either in form of a aarti or just lighting ghee lamp in front of her during your sadhana or puja. It enables the devotees to build a closer bond with Devi's powerful energy through the offering of fire. It brings auspiciousness into your life. With this, we completed the three most important things that we, in general, I think everybody offers and everybody should offer. It is not that if you don't use these things, you cannot do your sadhana. But it is only that these things will enhance your journey and make you feel much more connected to Devi as they change the aura of the room, and especially the fire works a lot in this. Apart from all these, the most important thing and the most important thing is your doing the sadhana with full devotion, with full vibration, with full devotion to Devi. That is the most important thing, that you must be available while doing the sadhana. In your life, the greatest thing that you can do to yourself is not become like a trunk, a root, or become like a seed, but to become like a flower. Because a flower is useless but most accessible. You see, whenever you are passing from somewhere, if you are not willing, it enters your nostrils. The fragrance of the flower enters the nostrils. You have no choice. You will automatically get the fragrance. Even if you are insensitive, still you feel that something is happening, right? All other aspects don't have that. So the main thing of becoming spiritual is to become like a flower. So at last, now closing the video, and hope you loved the video and found it meaningful. And if yes, do not forget to give it a like and subscribe. Up to next, stay safe, healthy, happy, and namaskar.